Good morning. Welcome to our Summer Kung Fu online program. I'm going to be looking at breaking down bits and pieces of both our Xing Yi Chuan and our my Zhengle Horn, throwing in a little bit Yi Chuan in there as well to try to come up with some pieces and look at some of the foundations of the way Kung Fu works, as well as reviewing some of the material we've been working on in the class in the past as well. Okay, we'll start out with the feet in the ground. Let's take a moment to warm up. So we'll just let the head rise and fall. And looking from side to side. And shoulders can go back. And shoulders can go forward. Arms can circle back one way and around the other. We'll reach and lean to one side and to the opposite. One more time to the first side and the second. Let those arms go nice and loose. Just kind of wrap around the body a little, warm up the trunk, get the legs in the ground. And we'll stretch one arm and the other. We'll go over the head on one side and the other. And then behind the back and pull. And on the other side. And then one more time, let those arms go loose before we warm up the hips. We'll take the hips around one way and around the other. One more time, the first way, and the second. Okay, legs from the inside to the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the outside to the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And shake out the legs a little, feet together. We'll go knees around one way and the other. One more time, the first way and the second. Let's stretch down, let's hang down in the front. And we can roll to come back up. Okay, let's start today with footwork. Oh, footwork, always footwork, leg work. It is the foundation for everything else. So let's talk about ways to be stable and move with stability today. So let's dip into a bit of Xing Yi for our first motion. So one of the ways to move forward effectively without changing your lead is by being able to create thrust in your rear leg so you can push and skim with your front leg. The problem with this is if we only think about it in terms of reaching, we end up leaving this leg behind. And we don't necessarily want to think about it as a one gets there and then the other catches up. We do want to think about it as a bit of a skimming along. And yes, that back leg will catch up, but it's not like it's being left behind before the other one comes in. We really want to think about how to create a sense of pushing into the ground. And pushing into the ground tends to make us want to, boom, stand upright, to uproot. What we want to do is think about not only are we thrusting, but we're going to lower our center during that thrust. We want to drop to go forward and then maintain that nice stability from side to side and front and back. Quite often, we start to kind of lead and reach, and our back foot starts to hang in behind us or get dragged behind, and we're unable to use it to thrust again. So this is where I think that some of the Xingyi work is quite brilliant, and that it really helps us to focus on that sum-toi. We're slightly rear-weighted. That's good in terms of a kind of, not only does that keep our jaw and our face just a little further out of reach, it also means that this back leg is in a position where we can drive from it at any time. So just for a second, push, skim, think of settle and drive. I find for myself, one of the images that helps in my mind is to imagine that I've got like a heavy weight in front of me, and that with each movement, I have to be able to, without extending my arms, I need to use the thrust of my leg to push that weight ahead of me, to push that weight ahead, and not think of it as an arm exercise. We're not going to extend our hands to do the pushing. We're going to maintain framework in the arms and drive through legs. Drive through that leg. Drive through that leg. So you're pushing that thrusting motion. We want hip, knee, ankle. We want to go from our core. We want to extend into that leg to create a movement of my mass that could actually also push or shove somebody else's mass. We want to be able to do that off of both legs. So take a bit of time to think about doing that on both sides. Now, we can think about that in a nice linear fashion. That's great. That's what we're doing. We're pushing something, we're pushing, we're finding. We want that nice default. We're just going to keep defaulting to a nice settled position. So if that front foot moves a couple of inches, the back foot moves a couple of inches. If the front foot glides a little further, so is the back foot, but they're never going to change the relationship to one another if we can help it. We want to really default to at least shoulder width with some depth front and back. Now, with something like sum-toi, we can change our angle of our thrust. Because we've moved the weight into the back leg to create thrust, we've got two options. We can pivot and open the front foot out, or we can pivot and step the front foot around. Now, it's not step the front foot across. It's take that same shape, take that sternum and point it in another direction. So we're going to play a little bit of a game on, imagine our analog clock, and our back foot is going to kind of settle in where the hands of the clock meet. And what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to move our front foot around the clock. And we're going to start with 15-minute interval section. So we're going to go take the front foot, load that back leg, pivot 15 minutes. Take the front foot, load the back leg, pivot 15 minutes. So this time I'm moving in the direction of the front foot. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Quarter turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time around the clock. 1. Have a look. Are you still in a good balanced position? Have you started to lean? Have you started to transfer? Have your legs narrowed? 2. Have I taken that position 15 minutes to another quarter turn? 3. Quarter turn. 4. Quarter turn. Let's put the other foot forward. So again, we're going to be moving in the direction of the lead leg. So I'm going quarter turn 1. Check out your balance. How are you stabilized? How are you feeling? Quarter turn 2. Quarter turn 3. Quarter turn 4. So you're back to where you started. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, questions to keep in your mind while you're doing this. If somebody rushed at me when I made my turn? Could I turn and catch them? Could I turn and catch them? Could I turn and catch that? Could I turn and be stable if someone was rushing me? Let's go back to the first leg forward. So we're going to still continue with our pivots to the direction of the lead leg. So let's go with our first question. Turn, catch, pivot, catch, pivot, catch, pivot, catch. I'm stable. Okay, now let's add something. Let's go to a little bit of that thrust. So I'm going to go pivot, catch, pushback. Not an arm pushback, a body movement. Pivot, catch, push. Pivot, catch, push. Pivot, catch, push. So I'm not moving that back leg other than when I go for my push. I'm pivoting on it. I'm catching into it. I'm pushing out of it. I'm pivoting on it. I'm catching. I'm pushing. I'm pivoting, catching, pushing. One more time. Pivot, catch, push. Let's go with the other leg forward. So let's try that drill too. So we're going to pivot, catch, push out of there. Pivot, catch, push out. Stop. Have a look. Where's your balance? Where's your stability? All right, is your core, is your center of gravity inside of that base? Is that base stable and wide? Pivot, catch, push. Pivot, catch, push. One more turn. 1, 2. So think about pivoting and catching at the same time so you can push out. Pivot, catch, push. Nice. Oh, your legs are going to love this today. So we said we have a pivot point, or we have our pivot point on the rear leg for this exercise. And what we did is we went across, we opened up. Opening up is a little easier than stepping across. Stepping across is when we start to kind of have that potential for getting our legs tied up. So now what we want to think about is skimming that front foot around and settling. So we're coming around and settling. Front foot is stepping in the direction of the back foot. Let's go around that circuit one more time. 15 minutes, quarter turns. 1, 2. Do you still have stability of your legs crossed? 3, stability. 4. Let's try it with the other side. So we're pivoting that whole structure. We're taking this nice, settled, balanced position, a little bit retreated, ready to catch, ready to thrust, and we're changing it 15 minutes. We're going that quarter turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let's add what we did with the other direction. So that means I've got to pivot across the front, and there's a charging bull coming in from, my 15-minute mark over here. So I've got to worry about this bull coming in from 9 o'clock, and I pivot and I catch. I pivot and I catch. I pivot and I'm stable. I pivot and I find a nice stable position. Let's do that again. So we're just catching. Turn, catch something. Turn, catch something. Turn. Imagine that mass. Don't just pretend. Think of somebody's, 250-pound person that decided to walk into your space, and you got to take as much of it as you can. So now let's catch and return. So they go pivot, catch, return. Pivot, catch, return. And we're shoving in. We're getting that little shuffle step. Catch, return, catch, return. Again, catch, push, catch, push, catch, push, catch, push. Okay, so that gives us this idea we can turn, we can shape this movement by pivoting. Now, what happens if we went for slightly smaller degrees with this? You're going to really work your leg over today. So now let's go back to the first leg forward. And now let's just do like 5 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. So we're shifting 5 minutes. We're shifting 5 minutes. We're shifting 5 minutes. We're just getting little increments, 10 to 5 minutes now, not 15. Over again. So let's get some eighths instead of quarter turns in there. Eighth of a turn, quarter turn, eighth, finish the quarter. So we're shifting, we're moving, we're shifting, we're moving. And we're ready at any point inside of that. We've still got that capacity in our legs. Our legs are wired to move. Let's try with the other leg forward. Again, we're moving to the open side. We're moving towards the front leg side. So eighth, eighth. And Sifu would actually get us to go in 5 minute increments. He'd say noon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's not as easy as it might seem to keep that shape moving with those directions. So let's try one more time each leg. Let's go for our clock. So this time I got my left leg forward, so I'm going counterclockwise. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. First side, one more time. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Second side, counterclockwise for me. Hands are active, body is active. Body is now livening up. Shift. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Good. Now we can shake it out a little. Okay, so can we pull that off with the slightly harder one where we're stepping across? So I'm going to go back to my dominant lead. That's for me, my left. And now I'm going to try my 5 minute increments, but I'm going to step across in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Other foot forward, stepping across myself. 11, 10, 9. Do I still have stability? Am I starting to cross up my feet? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Okay, so it's a fairly straightforward concept, but it gets played so much in the way we move and the way we shift. And what I see people struggle with so much when I'm training with them is walking tight ropes, hooking feet over top of one another, slowly and incrementally raising base and raising center of gravity and narrowing base. So anything that we can do that allows us to keep thinking about having that base, and what we're doing is we're pointing that base to the next position. Okay, so that is rear leg pivots. You know what else we can do? We can do front leg pivots. Now in that rear leg pivot, you could also take that clock exercise and you could choose a number. You could say, here I am at noon. I want to end up at 7 o'clock, and I'm over here at 7 o'clock. Then I want to come back to my noon position. so I can start to pivot further. Maybe I want to be able to go from noon with the front side leg, but I want to end up over, at 3 o'clock doing a counterclockwise circle. I've got to go whang, all the way around to make that happen. And that gets really hard when you start going for further motions, because what we tend to do is we tend to throw our mass into the arcs. We start to throw our head and our shoulders in there, and we start to kind of lose balance. If I'm going to pivot on that back leg, I need to keep this upright, and I still need to land in a position of catch and thrust, no matter how far I'm turning. So let's go to front leg pivots. So don't see this quite as much in the Xingyi. We see it a lot in boxing and other systems as well. So just like before, let's start out with the moving in the direction of that back leg. We're going to hook behind us, and we're going to go for 15 minutes. So we're going to pivot around the front leg, get to a position where we could catch. Pivot around the front leg. Are we in a position to catch? Pivot, catch, pivot, catch. So there's the front leg now being our pivot point. So we're turning sort of backwards, away towards our back. 1, 2, catch. 3, catch. 4, catch. Now notice what you have to do here. If you're already in that Sum Toi and the weight was in the back leg, are you going to be able to pivot that back leg? You're going to have to sink into the square a bit more so you can pivot that back leg around. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to poke the butt and shove the head and face in. So quite often when people pivot, they go lean to release the foot and then swing and stand back up again. By the time you go lean and stand, the other person's gone boom and boom. And they've clobbered that head that you've just put into their space. So we don't want to lean, we need to sink. We need to find the square and kick off and pivot. Kick off and pivot we need to be in the position of catch. Or if you're in the Tai Chi classes, where things like roll off starts to go in an arc, where if you catch something and you pivot, you can catch and turn the person's mass, catch and pivot, but we can't lean in there to do that. Let's try that with the other foot forward. So we're thinking about hooking that back leg behind us in 15-minute increments. 1, or quarter turns. 2, 3, am I stable? Can I catch? 4, did I put my jaw into danger, or did I move with an upright spine? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we can move by pivoting towards our back, now this is a little bit harder too, because we tend to want to step across ourselves. Can we bring this back foot around for our quarter turn? Boom. Boom. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try with the other foot forward. So we're stepping that back leg around, but we don't want it to become the front leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes I talk about this being a turn towards your belly or your chest, whereas the other one is a bit of a turn towards your back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's integrate like we did with the back leg pivot. Let's integrate some catches and pushes so we can feel like we've got some timing on these movements. So I'm going to go back to my dominant leg forward. I'm going to think about doing that arc to my back. As I move to my back, so I'm pivoting on that front foot. As I move, I'm catching, I'm pushing. I'm pivoting on the front, catch, push. Pivoting on the front, catch, push. Or I'm deflecting something, I'm dragging something off to the side and shoving. I'm dragging something off to the side and shoving. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's try that with the other foot forward and the same idea. So I'm pivoting towards my back. I'm catching. I'm shoving. Turn, push, catch, catch, push. Turn, catch, push. Turn, catch, push. Notice this one's kind of got a nice rhythm to it, where if you're kind of kicking, you're sitting in that front leg and you sort of push off of it, you get a nice catch to set up for your push. You can turn, you can catch, you can push, turn, you can catch, you can push, turn, you can catch, you can push. Let's try that with the other leg forward. So we're moving towards our back. We shift, push. This is a really natural one. You know, you want to think of your Tai Chi from this morning. Think about doing Lu and creating a quarter turn. So you quarter turn and then come back. Quarter turn, boom, come back in. Quarter turn, come back in. One more time around. Turn, catch, push. Turn, catch, push. Turn, catch, push. Last one. Turn, catch, push. Oh, your legs are going to love this morning. So let's go back to my lead leg. And this time, instead of going towards my back, I'm going to shift over and move towards the chest. So I'm going to take that back leg, I'm going to pivot on the front foot, and I'm going to bring the back leg around, catch, push. I'm turning, I'm catching, I'm pushing. Not quite as natural a feel here as the last one because I'm shifting in, catching, pushing, shifting, catching, pushing. Let's go around that circle one more time. So we go in, catch, push, pivot, catch, push, pivot, catch, push, pivot, catch, push. Awesome. So let's break that down like we did the other one. And let's start to try 5 minutes. So we're going to go around the clock. So let's start with your dominant lead. We're going to move towards the back. And we're going to go 5 minutes. So I'm going clockwise this time. So I'm moving towards my back. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. One more time. 1, 2. You want to be adaptable now. Think about being on the balls of your feet. You can be in motion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Same on the other side. So I've stole this phrase from a mountain bike coach who was talking about athletic positioning, that our goal is to maintain athletic positioning throughout anything that we're doing where mass is in motion and base of support is mobile. We need to land and maintain athletic potential. Athletic potential means we can receive forces and issue forces. If we're not in a position where we can receive or absorb force and issue force, we don't have our athletic potential. So here we go. I'm going to go counterclockwise this time. I'm pivoting on my front leg. I'm moving my back leg around behind me. 12, 11, potential, question mark. 10, over to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. One more time. So we're going 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Did you have potential in the transitions? Did you have potential when you got there? Could you have chosen to retreat? Could you have chosen to advance? So when I turn, I don't want stagnant. I want turn and maybe I need to move back. I want turn and maybe I need to move forward. That's why we need that athletic potential. So last one for today. Let's go back to first leg. Let's try our clock turning towards our belly. So I'm going to start counterclockwise here. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back to start again. Let's try that one last time. Let's go with the other leg forward. So we're moving towards our chest. We're going clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, we're gonna have to leave it there for today. I blew all our time, but we talked about foundations. This is it. Being able to take a stance, move it forward. We'll get into moving it backwards, we didn't talk about, and being able to shift. So once we get those pivot points and that idea you can move and change, we could be pivoting on either of those the feet. We could be pivoting back foot, we could be pivoting front foot, we could be catching, absorbing, changing, moving, and maintaining that athletic potential. More important than just about anything else, I see so many people when we start to put the pressure on that they start to lose base, they start to lose structure. And that makes it hard to apply force. If you can't receive or issue force from the position you're in, it's not a good athletic position. All right, thanks for training today. If you've got any questions or directions you want things to go, let me know, and we'll talk to you soon.